Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Hi. There's no taking pictures. Can you hear me?
Pardon?
There's no taking pictures without me in them, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, is that how it works?
That's how it works around here. I don't make the rules, I just follow them.
Nice.
I'm Devin.
Great, nice to meet you.
Bree, nice to meet you as well.
How's it going?
You know, you had a very Toronto pose when I walked by.
What was that?
Like this, have you seen the Six God pose, like in front of the
Yeah,
CN
once or
Tower?
twice, once or twice.
Are you from here?
Yeah. Lived here for like 10 years. What about you?
So when you go up and approach a girl, just like I did here, make sure that you get her attention first before you start speaking, okay? This is extremely pivotal, all right? I probably said excuse me, what, 2-3 times here before I actually went into what I was gonna say. I actually started to go into what I was gonna say and then realized she probably doesn't hear me fully yet, right? So, I realized that you guys may be nervous going up to a girl. You start speaking really quickly, right? You just wanna go up and say something really fast, right? You're excited, but just slow down, okay? What I personally like to do is when I go up and approach a girl, if we haven't made eye contact, I like to go up and say, excuse me, hi, and stop and pause, right? Sometimes I find that the conversation will just naturally unfold. She might say something and then you can respond to it, right? Or you might just think of something on the spot. Me personally, I'm very good at just thinking of things on the spot, right? I love that observational style of approach. But if I say something and for whatever reason I can't think of anything, I'll still do that. Excuse me, hi. And then if I can't think of anything, I'll say, I was actually just wondering why we haven't met yet. Sorry, my mic just fell. I'm Devin. Nice to meet you. Right? You can have that pocketed, or a line pocketed if you can't think of anything to say, but don't be so reliant on saying it, come hell or high water, right? You don't have to deliver that opening line, right? And here's the thing is, I find a lot of my students make this mistake. This may just be the number one mistake that I see a lot of my students making, and, guys in general, is that, well, they're not present, for one, but they'll go up and approach a girl and they'll just kind of belt something out, right? They'll have this perfect, clever opener and they'll go and deliver it, and the girl will only hear like a quarter of it because she's in her own head, right? She's thinking about something else, she's talking to something else, and all of a sudden, you're backpedaling, right? And it just creates this awkward interaction from the first frame, right? You don't want that. And I don't want that for you, okay? So guys, make sure if you're getting value to subscribe right below here, okay? Hit that big red juicy subscribe button because I have plenty more videos like this to come, okay? So, you don't want to do that. And in this video right here, right, you notice that, hi, excuse me, I get her attention, I point to her ear, to take out her device so she can hear what I'm saying, and then I deliver it. So, this is actually my favorite approach right here. I call it the Joe Rogan, right? And it's simply just commentating on what you see. So right here, I noticed that a girl was taking pictures, right? So I came from a place of authority. I came from a frame of authority, right? I went up and said, excuse me, hi. You can't take pictures here, and I threw in a little cocky tease, right, without me in them, right? That's my personal style. I like to do like a, funny and cocky opener, right? That's just what works for me, and you guys will find out what works for you. But I find that this personally is my favorite style of opener, right? I like to commentate on what I see. That's why I like to call it the Joe Rogan, right? Commentator of the UFC. Right? I commentate on what I see. And you can see here, right? I went up and commentated on the fact that You know, she can't take pictures without me in them, right? And then she goes, "How are you?" or she says something to that effect, which is good. It's showing investment. She's asking me a question, but it's a job interview question, right? And you don't have to answer those. That "Oh, I'm good. How are you?" Like, that's not going to lead anywhere, right? So I just ignored it, and I continued to commentate, right? I made reference to the 6 God pose, which is, you know, she was in this weird pose when I additionally approached her. I'll throw that up on screen for you guys for more context, right? If you're not from Toronto or not familiar with Toronto or Drake, right? I'll throw that up on screen here just so you guys can, you know, see what I'm referencing. But that's what I like to do, is commentate on what I see. Okay? Another thing you'll notice here is that I'm not approaching her from behind. I'm not, you know, hey, can you hear me? Hey, you know? I'm approaching her at what I like to call a safe distance, which is 3 feet away, right? So I get in her line of sight, you know, get her attention, and then deliver the line. You don't want to approach her too close, right? Because she's going to be scared off by, well, not scared off, but she's going to be like, you know, startled. Or you don't want to approach her from too far away because it shows that you're hesitant, right? It shows that you're not completely confident in the approach. So if you go up, go approach her, hold eye contact, 3 feet away, good safe distance. I will do that initially, and then as I'm building rapport and comfort, I will then get closer as I speak to her, you know, put my hand on her shoulder, right? But that has to build. It can't be right out of the gate, because you don't want her to feel like her safety is in jeopardy, right? Especially if you're a bigger guy. It's like, hey, nice to meet you, right? You don't want to approach too close, especially on the street. Nightclub is different, but we're talking straight, you know, day game style of approach here. Now, I realize that the observational commentator style of approach is more of an advanced tactic, right? You guys may not be able to think of something right out of the gate just like that, okay? That's fine, right? It takes time, it takes practice. So I've made you guys a video right here, and there are 4 different style of approaches that you guys can use, okay? So you can find out what one works best for you personally.